Good morning, grade 5. Let's continue the topic of deposition and erosion. Okay, let's start here. Two types of erosion, water erosion and then the wind erosion. Water erosion is one of the strong force of the nature, how to shape land. Water is moving, it is because of the gravity pull. And when water moves, sediments, rocks, and soil, it could form or create another piece of land. Remember this picture a while ago? Water could carry rocks, soil, and sediments, and when that thing happened, it could create a small piece of land. Look at this picture. The main source of the water or the river is here, and then it could carry a long way to the lowland. In this portion, water could be carried away into other parts of the region. And then when that thing happened, over millions or thousands of years, it could create a valley. Another is delta. Because of the strong current of water, rock, soils, and some sediments could pile up here. It could store in this place. So when then that thing happened, delta is forming. That is how strong water could change the landforms. Another is rain. Strong rain could cause flood, and flood could cause erosion. Flooding damages the soil, the roads, and then the buildings. Rainwater flowing over bare farm fields could also destroy it. Why? Remember, the current of flood could also take away plants. When then that thing happened, the land of the farmers will be destroyed. Another one, strong wave could also change the land shape. As the waves hit against the rock, the rocks could break. And then sand and gravel in the waves act like a sandpaper, weathering the rocks over time, meaning it could change the rock shape over the time. It's because of the wave. Another example of strong waves are the tsunami. A strong current of water, like a tsunami, could break the rocks. Although tsunami happens during the earthquake underwater, but still it could break the rock. Another one, glacier. Glacier is another example of moving water. Remember that rocks could break when the water inside of it freezes. Imagine a rock. I will show you here. Example, we have here a rock. When there is a tiny crack in the rock, example, I will write here tiny cracks in the rock. When that crack started to form, when it rained, water could go inside. And then when that thing happened, it could start to break. Remember that a frozen water is expanding. When it expands, it could break the rock. Okay, so let's have number 4. Why might it have taken many years for a glacier to form this U-shaped valley? Because remember, glacier is a slowly moving frozen water. When this thing happened, meaning over time it melts at the same time, the water started to flow here. And when the water started to flow here, it could start to change the shape of the land. Glaciers move very slowly because they are so large. At the same time, it takes hot temperature to melt them. Glacier, you can find them in the cold region, like the Arctic region. Let's proceed. Another type of erosion is the wind erosion. Sand dunes could change by strong wind. Look at this one. The shape of the sand dunes, especially here in Saudi Arabia, we always see sand dunes everywhere, especially when you go along the airport. These sand dunes change constantly. It's because of the strong wind. The wind, direction, and then the speed could change the shape of the sand dunes. Some people are planting trees and plants along the airport road. They do it because they want to avoid the dust going to the street. Because when the dust and then the sun goes to the street, it can cause accident because the road will be slippery when the sun is into it. That's why that plant could prevent that one going to it. At the same time, there is no plant that could hold the sand and then the soil here. That's why they only planted here so that when it's windy, it could start to prevent the sun going to the road. Number 5. Why is wind erosion more likely to happen in dry areas than the moist area? It is because in the area it's more drier. The particles move very easily because nothing to hold. Imagine if the desert is wet. Do you think the particles could be easily carried away by the wind? Of course not, because if that is the case, the dust will be a mud, and then mud is not easy to carry by the wind. There are not as many plants to hold the particles, as I mentioned a while ago. Let's go to the last page. Why is wind erosion more likely to happen in a... Okay, we're done with that. Number 6. How could sand dunes be held in a place to keep them from drifting onto road? By planting grass or by planting shrubs. As I mentioned, in this part, some people or the street people employed by the government, they started to plant trees and grasses here so that the sun cannot goes in the street because that can cause accident. That is the point here in number 6. Another one, in the fields. Didn't you know that the wind could also bring the dust to the farm? And when that thing happened, the top good soil, which is good for planting, will be covered by the dust. When that thing happened, plants will not grow. So what does the farmer do? They started to plant trees along the edges of the farm so that dust will not cover to it. Sometimes they try to plow it so that it will not be hard. At the same time, it will not be covered entirely by the dust. Number 7. How is wind erosion being prevented in the photo? As I mentioned, they planted a tree. They plowed it. Okay, what is the meaning of plowed? I will show you here in this picture what is plowed. How do farmer plowed it? Okay, farmer use a flowing tractor so that the dust will remove at the same time, so that the farmer could make a good soil for planting. Because if the entire place is covered with dust, they cannot start to plant. That's why they use this tractor float to start the soil or to ready the soil to be a good soil for planting. Last page. What is one cause of erosion? How can it be prevented? Okay, one reason for erosion is the moving water. We could prevent it by planting trees. So you can write here, we could prevent erosion by planting trees. Number 9. How does deposition change the Earth's surface? So this is the possible answer. Rivers may deposit sediments at the mouth of the river, forming into a delta. Number 9, I will show you that picture. Actually, I showed you a while ago how delta is formed by this picture. Okay, so running water of river or current of water from the river started to form a delta here. Okay, so that is how powerful water. It could change the shape of the land. Okay, girls, if you have some question, you could post it in mailbox in Clasera. Keep in touch and then see you in the next lecture. Thank you.